fourth set to the fifth. Just walk me through what you saw kind of happen.
This is a game of momentum, and the story of the match all night long was we just didn't handle the ball as well as we normally do in first contact. I'll tell you how this game flows. When you pass the ball to the net and you put it in your setter's hands at the net, then she can really kind of keep their blocking off balance, and you end up with one-on-one situations everywhere. We were passing just over and over and over. We left balls 10, 12 feet off the net. And when Nadia's playing from the 10-foot line, all of a sudden that block, there's only one place that ball can go, and all of a sudden that block's playing or that hitter's playing in front of a big double block. And it really makes it more difficult offensively. And it's reflected in the stats. Louisville had 16 blocks tonight. And it's because we just didn't handle the ball well enough to stay in system. And we caught a bad break in the, Nadia, at the end of the third set, I think it was, into the third set, rolled her ankle. I don't know if you saw her roll her ankle. And she had to get it taped, and she was kind of hobbling around and gutting it out there in that fourth and fifth set. And when you're not handling the ball great, that makes it even more difficult for her, tracking balls down. And so it was kind of a bad perfect storm there. And then you have to try to do the same thing to Louisville on the other side of the ball. You have to try to serve that thing aggressive to get them off the net and out of system. And two things about that. That's when you saw that fourth set turn. Logan Cale went back and got super aggressive from the service line and really turned the momentum of the game. But then another kind of a rough break. Sophia Sereno hurt her foot. And so you noticed we took her out a couple times serving, and she didn't quite have the pop she did from the service line. And so that affected our first serve on that side of the ball. So just some things that were working, against us that we just didn't quite do well enough. When you get here, the margin of error is thin, and you have to do little things well, and we just didn't quite do them well enough. And so, that's the difference in the match.
Jeff?
Coach, when we look back on this year, with the winning streak and hosting a tournament game, kind of what is the biggest takeaway you take away from this 2019 season?
Well, the first thing I want to say is how proud I am of our kids. When I sat here while they were talking, and I looked down at this box score, and Louisville had 58 kills, we had 58 kills. Louisville had 6 aces, we had 6 aces. Louisville had 64 digs, we had 62 digs. This was a slugfest. And our kids, look, I'm usually the most emotional guy in the room, and I think I may have been the only person in that locker room that wasn't crying. Because as a coach, you just want to go out there and pour yourself out. And our kids went toe-to-toe with a team that deservedly is playing in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. And when you look at the stat sheet, it was a balanced stat sheet all the way across except for that final score in the fifth set. And so I'm not going to carry that with me. And what's my reflection on the year? Look, this is how this is going to go for me. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to hug my kids, and I'm going to hug my wife, and I'm going to tell them I've missed them over the last 4 months, and I'm going to tell them I love them, and then I'm going to find me somewhere quiet, and I'm just going to thank God for all the blessings that He has put on WKU volleyball over the last 12 months, if you will, because it has been a journey, and there have been so many people that have been an important part of this along the way. And nights like tonight, you usually spend all your time thinking, what if, and gosh, if we could have got this break, and that's not who I'll be. I'm going to be so full of gratitude for the journey that these kids took me on this year, and for this incredible institution that I represent, because I said something that in reflection is about the only thing that does get me emotional right now. Before we hosted this regional, I said, hosting in the NCAA tournament is going to shine a spotlight on WKU. Let's make sure they like what they see. And I'm telling you, everybody from Todd Stewart, throughout this athletics department, throughout this whole entire Bowling Green community, have wrapped their arms around our program. And they have shown this country that there are all kinds of places you can go have success, but there's no better place that you can come and feel the love and support of a community like you can right here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And so I find myself full of gratitude, and I'm frustrated and disappointed as a competitor, but how many good things have to happen before you're just grateful? And my heart is full of that gratitude, and that's what I'll carry out of this season with me.